There have been many, what if Okada finally turned heel and developed a personality? There have been plenty of those people who want that. And Okada finally came out and said, let's act them all out, shall we? Because Kazuchika Okada, the Rainmaker, joined AEW after leaving New Japan Pro Wrestling, shocking the world, I know, and me subsequently saying that there will be thousands of promotions trying to go ahead and bank him on any type of deal, open contract, verbal agreement, contract agreement. Like, there was tons of people trying to hire them. And WWE even made a play to try and convince Okada to come to WWE. One was portray Nakamura as a confident Japanese wrestler that's not a stereotype. Why is that the first option? Like, couldn't you just... And they're booking him, but like, that could change. Like, you could easily just sign him and then screw him over afterwards. So that probably wasn't going to be enough to convince him. Okay, so you need to promise him money, a good chunk of money. You need to also promise him a big match at WrestleMania, probably, just to justify any of this stuff. And WWE afterwards decided to do this portrayal as a way to handle the situation. Okada, we're prepared to offer you this. We're WWE, so you'll naturally sign with us. And my response to that was, wow, I thought Vince McMahon was going to be the worst negotiator in the history of this business in recent years. Because that was awful. Like, it's probably up there with the rumor report that I heard a while back when Dean Ambrose was leaving WWE and they went to the negotiation table, and the basic negotiation tactic was, look, we know you're strong-arming us for money because AEW is coming around. Just admit it, and we just signed this deal. And John Moxley reportedly walked out of the room. That was the rumor, of course. And when I heard that, I was like, our negotiation skills are the things that topple nations, damn it. Because it really would. Okada arrived in All Elite Wrestling, looking like he was going to continue being the Rainmaker, the walking belt on feet. But yeah, that was a thing some former wrestling analyst said. He described Okada being basically a walking belt because here's the thing: when he was the IWGP champion, what was his personality? Like, in Japan, it's a lot different, so I get it, but for people who were getting into New Japan Pro Wrestling, they kind of wanted a character a little bit more of Okada. Like, he was a phenomenal wrestler, no mistake on that. But Kenny had a personality, and everyone gravitated towards him more. Evil had a personality, and it was the opposite of when he was evil, because, let's be real, when he was in Naito's group, Los Angeles, he wasn't really evil, he was just neutral evil at best. But he did have Io Shirai in his life, so naturally we all hated him for that. Yeah, the crazy fans lost their minds when they learned that. That was a day. But, yeah. And then when Okada lost the belt to Kenny Omega in their big spectacular match, you finally were giving Okada a personality. Just having the realization that his 720-day reign had ended, and it was miserable for him. He couldn't process it. He started dyeing his hair red. He started going crazy. He started having a character, and we all loved it. And he even did this at All In, the first one, and it was awesome. So naturally, we loved every moment of it. And then his feud with Jay White started, and he went back to being the Rainmaker. And then Jay White won the title, and then they fought at Madison Square Garden. And then Okada went back to being the Rainmaker with the belt on feet. So missed opportunity there to keep him like that was a real opportunity there to make him a heel champion. Like, he now has the belt again after his big character arc, and now he's desperate to make sure he keeps it, especially after all the betrayals and the inner splittings within Chaos at the time. But But no, they kept him as a superhero face because, of course, heck, I think Cena had more personality, and he was cookie cutter as all can be, but at least he had something. And the fact that I said that should be a worrying alarm for my perspective of wrestling. But Okada finally left New Japan after all these years and went to All Elite Wrestling, looking like he was going to pick up where he left off as the Rainmaker. And then he took out Eddie Kingston and aligned with the Young Bucks, who are playing the evil EVP thing. And you are left with wondering, my God, those fools have done it. Because this is what I've been like. Okay, naturally, corporate Rainmaker sounds freaking awesome. And now people were mixed on the idea, not because Okada needing a personality was finally addressed. It's the idea that Okada was allying himself with the Young Bucks given all that's happened with this guy. And heading into Dynasty, they aired the footage. Yeah, that was a day. And I took 2 weeks off from wrestling content because it was just so annoying that that it's been nearly a year and we're still on this whole freaking debacle. But luckily, reportedly, the talent were okay with it. FTR especially, they gave the go-ahead. They said, "Do it. If it gets big business out of this, we'll allow it. We're cool with it." Punk, I don't know. Probably never will be. And doesn't help the timing of it all. But yeah. But beyond the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson's EVP shtick, corporate Rainmaker was certainly an interesting angle. He then defeated Eddie Kingston for the Continental Championship. Praise be. Praise be to the Mad King. He then subsequently lost the RH World title to the Briscoe, Mark Briscoe. Reach for the sky and all that. And Okada would hold on to that Continental belt, and we were curious who his first challenger would be for that belt. And long and behold, it was our most famous friend of them all, the bastard, PAC. He had returned to All Elite Wrestling in a anti-hero kind of phase. Ray Phoenix was still out due to visa issues, damn it, and then he came back after Dynasty, damn it. So we couldn't get the Young Bucks and Okada, who were now dubbing themselves the New Elite, to fight Death Triangle in a six-man tag team epic matchup. Instead, PAC had to team up with other people during that time because Ray Phoenix was out and Pentagon Jr. was kind of in this limbotic state. Beyond that, we would finally get this match at Dynasty. Kazuchika Okada, the Continental Champion, the corporate Rainmaker, versus the Boston PAC. And this was the opening night match, and a match that had the potential to be banger after banger after banger after banger after banger, and all that. And I was so hyped that this was going to be his first pay-per-view match, because here's the thing about Okada leaving New Japan. While it will hurt New Japan definitely, it definitely hurts them a lot, knowing that the Rainmaker was gone. And in fact, they've been losing quite a bit of people. Yeah, it's not looking good on that front. I was ecstatic for Okada to be doing something different. Not only just being a character and having a personality that doesn't scream transparently good after his crazy runaway attitude he was doing, but he had a much more diverse main event talent pool. Yeah, I mean, like, let's be real. Every time when he was, like, it felt like the pool in New Japan for me was becoming more samey. Like, okay, he's fighting Jay White again. Okay, You got something new? Miedo? Like, yeah, they're good competitors, but like, you got someone new? Like, you don't have anyone? Do you have anyone else? Well, we could push David Finlay. I don't think anyone really likes David Finlay as Bullet Club leader. So that's so you don't have much investment from fans on that. Like, see the problem here. You like, there was no in between. I felt with Okada's talent pool in New Japan. Like, you either really were familiar with it or you just really didn't want it. And there was never a shot moment at times for an in between. Like, you could be like, I don't know if this guy can take it, but he has promise. But like, in his big match was with Bryan Danielson, and he tapped out for that. So I'm hoping they moved up, and Okada then broke his eye. Yeah, that was the thing. And Bryan still wrestled after that because he's insane and needs to be locked up in Alcatraz at this point. Very dangerously so. But Okada in AEW, just AEW alone, he has, let's see, we have PAC, Ray Phoenix, Pentagon Jr., Will Ospreay again, Jay White again, and right now they're doing their own thing, so probably not for the foreseeable future. Let's see, Kenny Omega, when Kenny Omega gets back from his diverticulitis thing, okay. We also have Dante Martin, that could be a good match. Let's see, Mark Briscoe, that could also be a good match. Eddie Kingston, already done. The Boston PAC, which is certainly a good thing going. Roosh, like, that would be pretty damn awesome. Like, there's so much talent here that he can work with now. The pool is much deeper for him. And try things he's never done before. So, huzzah, everyone wins. And now he has more of a character. And then, during this match, the fans clearly want to cheer for Okada. They love Okada. But Okada is clearly showing, yeah, I can piss them off. Like, I know there are people who try to be heel and fail epically because everyone loves them too damn much. I'll piss them off. I have ways. And aligning with his friends, the Young Bucks, was a step one because the Young Bucks are drawing poison currently for fans with how the whole debacle happened, that upset brawl out, warping the perception of fans everywhere. But Okada and PAC tore it down at that night. And then you have to remember, this is the first official match of the night. I'm doomed, aren't I? Because I have to go through all this to make it through it. The cunning bastards. I actually honestly commend AEW a little bit for this, because it's like they could have easily just done the Rainmaker stuff, done the safe mode. Instead, they took the gamble, and it's paying off in my opinion. Like, it could be varied from other people's opinions, but still. And Okada and PAC were tearing it down, doing these crazy things that they're known for, the best at what they do. And part of me was worried that this was PAC's last night in AEW because of the vibe I was getting from it. So far, nothing's come out about that, but PAC has disappeared, last I checked. But one of my favorite moments isn't even a wrestling move from Okada. It's Okada looking like he's going to do the Rainmaker pose, he's going to do the Rainmaker pose, he's going to do the Rainmaker pose. And he just flipped the bird at the camera. And I was just like, oh, imagine they did the zoom out thing. Just like showing the massive collective F you to everybody, to the world. And I would have laughed. I was like, yes! This is what I've been waiting for, because this is an Okada I can get behind. This is an Okada I can root for. I could be more identifying with. This is a PAC I can get. This is a PAC match that I invested in character-wise instead of athletic-wise. This is an Okada I can enjoy. more so than ever. Corporate Rainmaker, and I kind of like him wearing the right white gear, trying to act like he's this pure-hearted soul when he clearly has lost it. I kind of like that, so bonus on that just for aesthetic purposes. He would defeat the Foster PAC in Mortal Kombat with his signature Rainmaker. I am so glad he got rid of the money clip as a finishing submission move. That was a terrible idea. Like, that was not going to fix everything at the time. And PAC, laying out in the ring, gives a standing ovation for fans. And I just kept thinking, is he leaving after this? It kind of would suck to see him leave. He's finally back and he's getting a much more rejuvenated presence. I'm like, maybe he could do some stuff in Ring of Honor again, but damn, I hope it's not it for him. He's had some stops and starts, mostly because of visa, COVID, and injuries, which sucks. But he just had a hell of a match, and if this was to be his last match, it would be a hell of a way to go out. Standing ovation with the crowd, but let's hope things work out. Like, that was the vibe I got. I could be completely wrong about that. And Okada, 2 weeks after AEW Dynasty, would for the next 2 weeks do heinous acts with the Elite. With the returning Jungle Boy Jack Perry from Dynasty becoming the scapegoat and developing something no one thought possible, a personality, and thriving on the hate. I'm like, granted, his mic work's still up and up on that, but like, he's at least developing a personality more than ever. I don't think he has a personality since Christian Cage, betrayed him and mocked his dead father. But he and the new Elite would take out Tony Khan. And I gotta be honest, Tony Khan, your selling is way ragdoll-like. Like, it was just like one punch. Instead of a gradual descent into Painesville, he gets one punch and he's like cartoonishly on the floor. I laughed a bit at that. I didn't think it was bad, but I thought it was funny. And I don't think that, at least Tony Khan wore the neck brace to sell the whole Elite attack. So, and he's donating it, so props on that. And Tony's father came out, so, to save the day, with his angry, pissed off look, like, damn it, son, I gotta invest $10 million more to this, don't I? Okay, I kid. Like, let's be real. They're both billionaires. They have the money. And then Okada would finally come out on last week's Wednesday to confront his former nemesis, the Rainmaker, to the Alpha to his Omega. Kenny Omega returned, expressing his diverticulitis situation, and because Tony Khan is insane, and the doctor in AEW who has to attend to Kenny Omega's blatant stupidity decides, okay, I'm Kenny Omega, I'm an EVP, so let's point that out, I share the power, so okay. So anyways, I'm going to take bumps on the show with a stomach that could go out at any second if I keep pressuring it. So that's cool, right? You'll patch me up, right? Give me a couple months, right? I can work with Okada, right? It all in. And at that point, Kenny's doctor is screaming and trashing his apartment, his luxury condo, because he is so done with Kenny's attitude. Like, let's be real. If I was Kenny's doctor, I'd be like, oh my god, I hate my job, I hate my job, I hate my job. Why did I get into this job? And why did I get into this profession? Why? I should have retired by now. Because let's be real, Kenny, let's not even mention Darby. Kenny alone is already a headache for the doctors. Because he'll say, okay, look, I know I went through it. I know I did this match with a loss free. We had our first bout. Can you patch me up so I can work a ladder match next week? I hate you. I know you do. And then there was the whole, okay, look, so I know I just had a match of the decade bout. I'll take 2-3 weeks off. But then I gotta start dealing with the Blackpool Combat Club, and I'm gonna go through Blood and Guts, so you'll patch me up in enough time, right? Right? I know I took a Tiger Driver 91 to the head, and I'm pretty sure I could have been paralyzed if it went wrong, but it's cool, right? And then once again, and then before all that, he had all the injuries and wear and tear over the years since his time in New Japan, where he told his doctor, okay, look, I know I have a lot of pain. I'm in excruciating pain. I went through hell. I went through blood. I went through violence. I went through death matches. I had myself get cut up by a pizza cutter, and we sadly could not advertise Pizza Hut on that, or Domino's with that. But I'll be back by February, even though it will be only like 2 months. Can I? And Tony Khan had to tell him to go home, for God's sakes. So naturally, Kenny Omega goes ahead and gets shot in the stomach multiple times by the Elite, by Jungle Boy Jack Perry, by Okada. They beat him up, he gets stretchered out, gets beat up again. You see the problem with Kenny Omega? You can't control him. And here's the thing. A report came out, it could be wrong, it could change at any time. Now, apparently, Kenny is still a long ways away from coming back to wrestle because he hasn't had his freaking surgery. Maybe he'll pull a Brock Lesnar miracle with the diverticulitis. He almost did die, just like Brock Lesnar almost did. And I'm pretty sure they patched out the AEW Fight Forever, the diverticulitis finishing move, because that was a stupid idea. And I think it was Excalibur who made that idea. But yeah, Okada and Omega 5, that was pitched for a main event match at Madison Square Garden. And had that happen, I probably would have went there and never found out about Bret Hart till after. Which was depressing that night because the audience lost it completely with their energy. But this is my take. If we get Okada and Omega all in, I'll be freaking amazed. But I don't see it happening with the stomach concerns with diverticulitis, with the inflammation. So maybe next year, who knows? And don't worry about Okada having nothing else to do. He has a lot of people to work with, more than ever. But that's all we're going to go with. Okada, the corporate Rainmaker, is here. He is ready to dive into All Elite Wrestling and probably CMLL and probably Ring of Honor. Yeah, there's a lot of places he can wrestle at right now since he's in AEW, so that's going to be fun. It's going to be a hell of a night. Hell of a run for him, hopefully. Probably better than his New Japan run if they play it right. They already they already did the bold strategy of turning him heel and letting him have a personality more than ever. So I'll say it's already in top 2 already. But this is where we're going to stop here. The corporate Rainmaker is here, bask in his glory. Sorry, Keith Lee, I just had to take it. This was your host, Eric Brown of Neo Reality Entertainment, NRE The Wrestleverse, Neo Reality Collective. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, check out my other content and spiritual loves. Tell people more. I'll see you again next time. Peace and take care, and keep on wrestling.